Could you convince your partner to put aside their doubts and risk everything for a new start abroad, especially if it meant giving up a life you love for a country you've never been to before? If you dreamt of a new life for your family but no one shared your passion...
It is you that wants to go, remember. It's not me.
And the reality left you more than disappointed.
I expected maybe too much from Australia.
Could you bear to leave behind everyone you know and love?
I think family kind of belong to each other.
I don't want it to go.
Being blessed with a warm climate, endless beaches and wide-open countryside, Australia is a magnet for Brits looking for a more relaxed lifestyle. But for many, the new life they sought doesn't live up to their expectations, and they return home giving up their dreams. Over the next week, the Haroon family will get a taste of life in Australia. At the end of it, they'll face one of the biggest decisions of their lives, whether to stay in the UK or to make the move down under for good. The journey to Australia is a massive 25-hour flight that takes them right to the other side of the world. Neither Harry or Nabila have ever visited the Antipodes, but fortunately, there's something familiar about Melbourne.
It feels like home. Because of the rain, and Manchester's always raining, I just feel like home.
I think that plane ride was the most exhausting flight I've ever been on. Mainly because Eliza was a nightmare. I can't imagine myself doing that flight too often.
Now Harry has just 1 week to convince his family Australia is a dream worth pursuing. Back in the UK, the Haroons live in Rochdale near Manchester. Along with Harry and Nabila are 5-year-old Amani and Eliza, who's nearly 2. Harry works as a police officer and loves his job. However, achieving success in his career has come at a high cost.
We married this 8 years, and most of them 8 years I've spent working, constantly working, missing out of seeing my daughter growing up. I've also missed out spending time with Nabila and building a bond together.
Desperate for a change, Harry is convinced the life he wants can only be found in Australia.
I want my 2 daughters to see and experience things that I've never have. And hopefully, me inspiring to go to Australia and having quality time with my kids will also give me more quality time with Nabila, and we can hopefully be there happily married for, forever.
However, Nabila doesn't share Harry's aspirations.
It was about 4 years ago when he did mention going to Australia, and I thought it was just an absurd idea. But I don't agree with him. We've got everything here.
As both the Haroons have a large and close-knit family, moving to Australia would come at a high price.
It's massively important for me to have my mum around. It's good for the kids, but it's good for my mum as well. And, they're very, very close. And my mum's always saying, when you're coming round, just ask every day to the kids when you're coming round.
My childhood, I didn't have a father figure. My mum brought me up. Me and my mum are very close. My mum has made so many sacrifices for me and my sister. And I just hope she understands the sacrifices that I'm making.
And Harry knows he still has a long way to go to convince Nabila to make the move.
I want to go, but I need your support. I don't want this all to be about, oh, it's me, Harry's doing everything, he's the one that's all. I want...
But it is you that wants to go, remember. It's not me. I'm happy to stay here in the UK. I think we've got everything that we need here. So, yeah, it's you that wants to that wants to go.
Harry has just 7 days to show Nabila that Australia is worth giving up the life she knows and loves. The Haroons are torn over where their future lies. Harry's convinced they could have a better life in Australia, but Nabila can't bear the thought of leaving her family behind. With so much at stake, it's a dilemma that could leave someone broken-hearted. The Haroons want to see if Melbourne can provide everything they need. As a vibrant and multicultural city, it's well suited for a young family looking to start a new life. The Haroons' home for the week is in the Airport West suburb. Close to the centre of Melbourne, it should be an ideal base. So what will they make of their first taste of Australian living?
It's a bit strange, you know, having a bedroom.
As soon as you walk in.
Yeah, I'm not used to that.
Australian housing might not be quite what he expected, but Harry is quick to adapt.
I like this. I just don't understand now. Is this the kitchen and the living room? Or is this the kitchen and the dining area and they've converted it into a living room?
This is the living room. And
So it's open plan?
yeah, it's all open.
So I can basically be sat here watching the footy and then you could be making the food.
Yeah, we'll see.
I can say to you, Nabila, come on, chicken kebabs.
Harry might be able to tease Nabila now, but he knows how serious the next 7 days will be.
I think the realisation is hitting home that I'm here. Something that I've always thought about, and now I'm sat here with a brew in my hand and I'm in Australia. I think Nabila, if everything's not there, Nabila will say more than likely she's not ready for the move.
It's got to be something special that we don't already have back home in the UK, and for me, that is the bottom line. It's got to work for the family, not just for Harry, but for all of us.
In the UK, the Haroons own a 4-bedroom house in Rochdale. They've poured their heart and soul into making it a home they love. And an Australian house would have to be able to deliver just as much, if not more.
We're looking for a very modern house, quite similar to this, spacious.
At least 4 bedrooms.
Yeah.
We need to be able to accommodate a family when they come over. A big drive for me is the achievement that I've made in the property that I own. And maybe that's what I want as well in Australia, that something that I can say that I've achieved.
Today, we're giving the Haroons a taste of Melbourne's property market. We'll show them 3 typical options based upon what they want from an ideal Aussie home to what they can afford. After seeing for themselves what's on offer, they'll discover the price of each house. So, with a childminder on hand to help look after the girls, the Haroons are off to explore Melbourne properties. The first stop is in the Meadow Heights area. Being well situated for an easy commute to the city centre and with a large Muslim community, it should appeal to the Haroons.
Oh, this is nice. It's like a living room dining area like ours.
Oh yeah, it's like all in one.
What do you think? Do you like it?
That's just the response Dad wanted, and he's keen to see the rest of the house.
No, let's go into the kitchen.
Is this supposed to be the kitchen?
I don't know.
This can't just be it. It just doesn't feel big enough for a kitchen.
Oh dear, suddenly this house is not looking so attractive.
Okay, small. Again, kitchen small, bathroom small.
I'm not going to get upset.
Okay. Is this the master?
Look, it leads onto the front. I wouldn't be comfortable with me and you sleeping here, knowing that it leads up to the front of the house.
It's not going well for Aussie housing, and the garden only makes matters worse.
What's in front of you? The main road?
The main road,
And
so...
for me, it's about, I want the quiet life.
Yeah.
It's not what I expected from a house in Australia. I don't know, I'm just getting a bit... Oh, I don't know, it's just... No, so, I don't know.
Having had Australia as a dream for so long, the disappointment of this house seems to have affected Harry.
What do you think of this room?
I don't care. I don't care. You know, for me, the big thing was you come to Australia, big houses, living the dream, sunshine. You know, I've seen the first house, and I don't care now. For me, the whole... I don't know. I expected maybe too much from Australia already. The first...
This just shows the sheer emotional investment Harry's put into this move and how much it means to him. He may be bitterly disappointed, but will think the price makes some difference. If this house is far enough below their £300,000 budget, they could be able to afford something much better.
I'm gonna let you do it. I don't want to do it.
Are you ready? £205,000.
£95,000 below budget, but has that given any hope?
I can get a really nice house in the UK for
that price.
For that price.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, I'll stick with where I am, and that's what's quite disheartening now.
Don't be too deflated, because maybe the next property might be... Well, it's got to be better than this one, surely.
This is a really bad start. After years of trying to persuade Nabila on Australia, suddenly Harry is losing faith in his dream.
I feel let down. I don't feel I've sold Nabila a dream, which is not a dream. And therefore that's making me upset because I'm the one that's trying to drive this dream forward.
Perhaps the second property will help Harry's case. It's in the newer area of Roxburgh Park, which has been developed for family living, with plenty of parks, lakes and shops close to hand. It's a larger 4-bedroom house with a more modern styling. Can this make up for the upset of the first property?
Oh, nice. Oh, this is a little baby's room, like a little nursery.
Yeah, it's like how Eliza's back at home.
Yeah.
I think it looks all right.
Yeah. Master bedroom, is it?
It's modern, it's like ours.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I like this. And I'm just a bit worried about this. The bedroom's always been at the front of the house.
Yeah, it's not like that back in.
But maybe, you know, from the UK to Australia, we have to adapt, and maybe this is what it's all about. But so far, it's okay.
Yeah.
Well, things are certainly looking up. Nabila's warming to this house and Harry's back on form.
That's nice, isn't it?
Well, no, you're not having one.
Yeah, that's nice.
Not having one.
Oh, nice.
Okay, no,
Nice.
It's better.
Oh,
It's better.
Yeah.
This kitchen is big enough, isn't it?
Yeah, it's big enough for people to even, you know, gather round and have a chit-chat and, you know.
Do you think you can cook in here?
Definitely.
Yeah, I think I can make something in.
Yeah.
It's better.
This has got the wow factor, hasn't it? I can easily picture myself in this property.
And you know, and the kitchen's, it's not that far.
Yeah. But you can have a chat with someone while they're cooking. So if I was in the kitchen and we had guests round or something, we could have a chat.
The Haroons are certainly looking settled in. But could they afford to call this their home? It all depends on the price.
Last time I made you, but this time I'm a bit more confident, so...
OK, go for it.
This house might be well within their £300,000 budget, but Harry isn't satisfied.
Everything I've seen, I'll be content and happy living here. But I want something even better.
After years of wanting to move to Australia, it's understandable that Harry doesn't want to settle for a house they only just like. But now everything stands or falls on the last house. It's also in the same area. This is a modern-style house, but bigger and in a more scenic setting than the last one. Straight away, Harry's quick to spot a difference that makes it more appealing.
It's not a bedroom at the front.
Yeah, which I totally agree with you. I don't like these bedrooms being right at the front where you open the door and the bedroom's there.
So far, it's a plus.
Yeah.
This is good. It's massive.
Yeah.
Absolutely massive.
It is. so big, isn't it? It's got the wow factor, I think. It's what we wanted.
I'm definitely coming around to this concept
plan.
of open plan.
Yeah.
At last, the Haroons have found a house that's got both of them excited.
Oh, wow.
It's massive.
Bedroom,
Forget
yeah.
master, it's massive.
Massive master bedroom. It's so spacious, isn't it? Oh, wow, 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 wow.
His and hers. So when you're here...
Yeah, and you're brushing your teeth.
No, when you're here doing your hair and I'm shouting at you, I don't need to anymore because I can just walk
You can
across
use
here.
your own, you don't have to be waiting.
I can walk across here and just use my own.
Yeah.
Outside, the garden is the final piece in Harry's vision of life down under.
This is what I expected from a house in Australia, that you have big, massive house, a porch area where you serve.
Even if it starts raining, I think it'll be okay, won't it?
It doesn't rain in Melbourne.
It does. It rained on the first day we got here, Harry.
So is this house within their £300,000 budget? It's one aspect Harry just can't bear to face.
You turn it over.
Okay.
I'm not going to look at it.
Okay.
I'm not looking at it.
Well,
I don't
want
want to look at it. I just want you to be happy.
Are you going to look at it now?
No. No. No.
Yeah. Can you believe that?
No.
Oh my gosh. I think I need to sit down.
With this house bang on budget, have the Haroons found the perfect home? It's been a day of real ups and downs. The first house left Harry in a terrible state and regretting the entire move. The second gave them hope that a home they liked could be within reach. And the third property had the space and style to wow them both. So, after a day of raw emotions, has anyone been convinced by Australian houses?
Based on our experiences of Australian property, we're voting for... Australia! Let's have a look. Yes! Australia! I'll be honest, before this house, I was undecided.
Yeah.
And now, the final house for me Australia.
Yeah.
You?
It's that final house that did it. If we hadn't been shown that final house, yeah.
After a day of highs and lows, Nabila's vote for Melbourne was exactly what Harry was hoping for. But their dream home isn't going to come cheap. And taking on a bigger mortgage means it's vital that Harry finds good work prospects and a salary to match. In the UK, Harry is a policeman. It's a career he loves and wants to continue in Australia, but he knows the clock is ticking.
I'm coming to an age of 36, going on 37. How long have we got left to get to Australia or get into the Australia police? So I'm just thinking maybe the time gap that I've got left to apply is minimising and I need to now do something about it.
In Australia, there are two types of police force: state police for each region and federal police covering the whole of the country. Harry would love to join the federal police, but as a new citizen, he'd only be able to work in the state division. However, after 1 year, he would be able to apply for jobs as a federal officer. So we've arranged for Harry to spend the morning with Agent Aaron Thompson, who starts off by showing him around their Melbourne headquarters.
So this is just an outdoor area we can use for fitness training.
Wow!
If it's a nice day, occasionally on a Friday afternoon, we might even have a barbecue out here.
I just can't believe it. It's just, you know, you're outside, you're on top of the building and you can see skyscrapers and this is where you do your training?
That's right.
Wow.
It sort of shows you again what a great position we're in Melbourne, in the heart of the city.
The facilities have certainly impressed Harry. Across town, Nabila is on her own fact-finding mission. She's worried that leaving her life in the UK would mean losing contact with her Muslim roots. So she's spending the day exploring Melbourne with Tanya Kubica, who moved here 6 years ago.
You find it very mixed ethnicities here. It's great. I love it. It's a nice place.
This is just like being in Manchester, like Windsor Road, like going to
Does it
Windsor
remind
Road.
you of home?
Yeah, on a weekend. So it does remind me very much of home.
You find everything there. There's halal shops and clothing and food.
So you've got a good selection of like
Yes,
clothes.
and lots of places to stop by with the kids, and yeah, you don't have to worry about finding
like
halal
party
food.
wear and Asian like weddings.
Yeah, that as well, but the CBD has got lots as well, but yeah, Sydney Road is great.
Back at the station, Harry is finding out about his main reasons for wanting to emigrate.
For me, the most important thing is trying to find that work-life balance, and I'm trying to get it to a fact where I can spend a lot of time with my family, especially being young.
Obviously, there's situations where we have to be here for long periods of time, but generally speaking, the AFP operates for the core business hours of 8 till 4 every day. And I've certainly had no complaints from my family about being away too much. I think they understand that it's an important job that we do, but at the same token, 90% of the time I'm home on time.
Harry looks happy with those hours, but is the pay anything to smile about?
As a probationary constable straight out of the police academy, you'd be looking in the vicinity of about $65,000 Australian a year.
Right.
And that obviously progresses each year. You get a raise.
Right.
And then promotions would increase that even higher later on in your career.
That's a starting salary, which is nearly £10,000 more than he earns in the UK. So, after a day full of positive news, Harry drops into the state police station to pick up a job form. Meanwhile, Nabila is addressing her biggest worry, leaving family and friends.
I believe that, well, I feel that we've got everything back home in England. We've got our family, our friends. We've got a good infrastructure there.
I understand where you're coming from, because I had to go through the same. I was very fortunate to meet really lovely people here right from the beginning. So, yeah, that helped me a lot.
Right. So you've made friends here?
Yes,
Okay,
easily.
since you've been,
That's
okay.
a beautiful community.
What's it like for you living in Melbourne as a Muslim woman?
Actually, I find it much easier. In general, I seem very easygoing in Australia.
And you find that you can practice your religion here?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No problem at all.
Okay.
The community is very diverse.
And you think the kids would fit in as well? You think they'd
Oh, yes. They're so gorgeous. I
Yeah.
think they'll make friends really quickly.
With those reassurances in mind, Nabila heads across town to see how Harry got on. After a day filled with good news, do we really need to ask which way Harry will vote?
Based on my job experience in Australia today, I'm voting for UK. No, it's Australia. I wanted to see a reaction. It's Australia. Were you shocked when I did UK?
Yeah, I was like, oh,
No,
what's
it's
going
Australia.
on? Yeah. Why have you voted Australia again?
You know why I voted Australia. First of all, excellent day with the Fed Police, something that I want to do. Victoria Police, interesting. It's what I do on a day-to-day basis. Most importantly, the work-life balance. Were you surprised?
No,
See?
no.
I'm a predictable.
Yes.
It's Australia.
I don't think playing practical jokes on Nabila is the best way to win her over. But there's no pretending. Harry's even more convinced about moving down under. One thing, though, even he can't joke about is the cost of living in Australia. Back in the UK, the Haroons own a 4-bedroom detached house in Rochdale. They bought it for £230,000 and know they need to get a good price to be able to afford their dream home in Australia.
Let's have a look.
We sent round to estate agents to give us an up-to-date valuation.
There's a house. It's a bit too tall for the room.
Nice and light. Good for the family.
I want to see what he says about the kitchen.
Really nice kitchen. Very modern. Lots of integrated appliances. Exactly what the modern family are looking for. Really lovely room.
Thank you.
Right, so yeah, very good size main bedroom. Obviously the parents' bedroom, nicely fitted wardrobes.
Nice size conservatory, great overlooking the garden.
Your room, Harry's room, in the garage.
Oh. Good sized garage. Going to be really popular, this, with modern families.
With current market conditions, I anticipate the value to be £220,000 and for a quicker sale, £210,000.
Great family home. Based on today's market, I'd be looking at valuing the property at £225,000. If you wanted to achieve a quick sale and to attract early interest, probably look at marketing it around £219,950.
We bought it for more.
Yeah.
I'm so slightly disappointed at the value.
And I think...
Because we have put a conservatory in, and we have done the ensuite.
With both of those figures lower than they'd hoped for, everything depends on a closer look at their finances. So we've drawn up comparisons of their living costs. Will their calculations add up to a life in Australia or the UK?
It's £10 more just for cucumbers.
Yeah, it's everything really, isn't it? It's quite a big chunk of it.
Australia is renowned for its relatively high food prices, but how do all the family outgoings add up?
Oh my God, it's actually less than the UK.
That's a surprise.
24,600, whereas the UK was 27,600, so it's 3,000 less a year.
Why would the cost of living be cheaper here than in the UK?
Here in Australia, I don't have to put into the pension fund because the police pay into the pension for me.
However, without family to help with childcare in Australia, Nabila would give up her job in administration and stay at home until the children were settled. How does that affect their disposable income?
In the UK, we had £8,400 left over. In Australia, we've got less. We're £3,500 worse off a year.
In Australia?
In Australia.
Lower living costs, but also a lower income. Have their calculations sold them on a life down under?
Based on the reality check we are voting for, Australia.
Undecided.
Why?
Because we're still better off in the UK.
No, the figures don't say that. They don't.
What do the figures say then?
Okay, no. Okay, the figures do say that, but they don't say that.
Well, my understanding is that we are still better off in the UK.
For £3,500, Nabila, the difference, you haven't worked that whole year. So for 1 year's and £3,500 difference, I think the figures show we're better off in Australia.
Well, that's why I'm undecided.
No, I don't get it.
That's why I'm undecided, because the figures do show we still got more disposable income. But yeah, that's based on just you working, not me. So for that reason, I'm undecided.
I still don't get it.
Don't argue with me. That's my choice.
Okay, that's your choice. I'm Australia.
I'm undecided.
It looks like this week is becoming a battle of heart versus head. For Harry, Australia has always been about a quality of life he could have with his family. Now he's got to show Nabila exactly what he means. Back in the UK, shift patterns and long working hours have meant Harry missed out on time with his family. He's hoping emigrating down under would offer the lifestyle he craves.
I think going to Australia is all about family and spending time with my daughters. It's about actually, when we are together, doing something together.
When he's there, he's really good with them. He does spend quality time with them when he gets the opportunity. But yeah, to be able to do this more often, it would be nice.
So this morning, the Haroons are joining an activity group for young families to sample outdoor living, Melbourne style.
Go, lads. Come on, everyone, let's go and plant some trees.
From the serious to the silly, it's a real chance for the Haroons to enjoy time together.
Let's throw that on and we'll give it a little fly, shall we? 1, 2, 3!
I'm not sure who's enjoying this more, Harry or the children. And once the fun slows down, there's a chance to speak to other people who've also made the move.
What's it like raising children in Melbourne?
I think it's really good actually because there's lots of sport. I think sport's a really big thing here for children in particular.
I found that if I met some mums, you'd chat a bit, and then if you went back the next week, they knew you by name, they knew a lot about you, they remember things about you, and then you just sort of make friends like that. And Australians are very friendly people.
That's what I was told all the time from when I was back in the UK and the police, Greater Manchester. Everyone said, Harry, Australians, lovely people, friendly people, you'll love it. So this is what I want to experience.
It's just hard.
It certainly seems like Harry's heard just what he wanted to hear. Then the Haroons are off for a whole new experience.
I think this is the first time she's seen sand.
Yeah. It's the first time we've ever had a picnic on the beach, isn't it?
Yeah, but does she not know you don't throw the sand on the food?
Yeah.
Eliza, that's not right. Come on. This is what I wanted, honestly. This is what I always thought Australia was all about. The sun, the sand, and the peace and quiet.
It's nice. It's nice being on the beach.
This is exactly the kind of lifestyle that's motivating Harry to emigrate. However, it doesn't seem to have had the same effect on Nabila.
I'm not feeling that you actually want to be here or it's something that excites you.
What is stopping us doing this back home? Why do you have to come to the other side of the world to appreciate a beach, a picnic on the beach?
No, we don't. No, we don't have to move to the other side of the world.
But that's what you're asking us to do, aren't you?
I'm not. I'm just saying what the experience that we're getting here, you know, is a brilliant experience. And maybe yes, we could have this closer to home. But overall, I think this is a picture-perfect situation.
But what you don't get here is to get grandparents to come along, Amani's cousins, Amani's grandma, to come along and have a picnic with us. Can you see it from that point of view?
I don't think Harry and Nabila are going to see eye to eye on this just yet. So is there any chance of an agreement when it comes to voting?
Australia! Mine's Australia. Why are you undecided?
We can do this.
But you
back in England, if the weather permits.
Do this, what we've got here in the UK.
You can.
And there's no way I can change your mind?
For now, it's undecided.
Both Harry and Nabila want the best future for their family, but their day in Melbourne left them worlds apart about where it should be. One thing they do agree on, though, is emigrating will mean leaving behind the people they love. Harry and Nabila are going to watch a DVD from friends and family in the UK without the girls, as the messages can be quite upsetting.
OK, you ready for this?
No.
Could this be the deciding factor?
It's hard to describe Harry. He's quite a force. He's got a massive heart. It's this big.
Harry's a very close-knit family person. He's obviously grown up with just a sister and his mum.
He's the only brother I've got, and he's my brother, my sister, everything. He's loving, he's caring, and my sister-in-law is just the same, and the two princesses, the two girls, are just, they're everything to me.
It's quite difficult to imagine that they are going to, be going, just so far away.
I think family kind of belong to each other. It's the way, that's what family is, and, I can't imagine him not being here for Christmas or for Eid, or for one of the birthdays, and watching the kids grow up. It's not all about Harry. It's not all about Nabila. It's really about being part of their family life.
We're expecting our second child, so I think Haroon not being here is going to be a bit upsetting, because then you were able to see the baby grow up. And
I'll be honest with you, Harry. A routine will happen inevitably where, you know, we just get used to not speaking to you, and I don't want to accept that, but that's what will happen. So you're not just moving and going away and thinking that, okay, they'll still be part of my life, because it won't exactly be like that.
No, I don't want him to go.
I think he knows that we're going to miss him. It goes almost without saying, but he might be surprised just how much it affects us if we think about it.
We need you as much as you probably need us, and without you guys here, there's a part of us that's going to be really lost.
You know that I love you so much. You're my little sister and everything, and Eliza and Amani, you know how much I adore them.
I know you want the best for the girls, but at the same time, I hope you can think about us too, that we will miss you a lot. I will really, really miss you, because you're a very special brother.
I don't know,
These are the family our kids will lose touch with.
I know moving here is the right thing to do for me.
You don't know that, Harry. There's no way you could know that. You think, you hope it would be the right thing to do.
I'm just looking at Amani and just thinking, what am I taking?
Away from her is grandparents, aunties, uncles, cousins.
Watching those messages hit everyone hard, but for Harry in particular, it was a painful reminder that his dream will come at a very high price. So as they reach their final vote, is it one the Haroons are really willing to pay?
I built Australia up to be this dream that I've got. Once I get my heart set on something, I try to achieve that goal. And maybe sometimes I need to not have tunnel vision, but look at the bigger picture. And that, if I'm being honest, I've not done on previous occasions.
I think if they had said go, it would have been easier. But it's the fact that they weren't saying that.
The fear that I have is my dream to live in Australia, my dream for a better life for my children, could drive me apart from my family that I love back at home.
There's a possibility we could vote the same or we could vote differently. I'm not really sure where we'd go from there.
We've had an amazing time here in Australia this week. Based on our experiences, the country that we're going to live in is Australia! What did you vote?
UK.
Okay, go on, why?
It's made me realise how much we have back home that we don't appreciate.
The only second that I had any doubt was when I watched family and friend messages.
How are we going to decide?
I've always said I want this because of what's best for the family. And the last thing I want is me forcing something on you that you are not happy with. But I just want you to open your heart, open your mind to the possibility of what this wonderful place could bring to you, me, and our 2 daughters.
Despite pulling out all the stops, Harry was unable to convince Nabila to share his Australian dream, and the Haroons were left unable to decide where their future lay. So, has anything changed? Well, they've been back a few weeks now, so I've come to find out. Well, last time we saw you, it was a 50-50 split vote, wasn't it? Harry, surprise, surprise, you loved Australia, and Australia was the way you wanted to go. But Nabila, you voted for the UK, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I started imagining us living there, you know, whilst we were out there, and picturing us like living there permanently. And then it made me realise how much family meant to me when they weren't there. You know, I started missing them even in that space of time. So I just felt it wasn't the right time for us to go.
It is a high price to pay.
It's a massive price to pay.
Yeah, I have realised that. If I take anything back, it's family and friends and what they mean.
You were both very surprised by that strength of feeling, especially you, Harry. I mean, you were in bits, weren't you?
It was a complete shock, and that's still hard now. I'm talking to you now, and I'm still, you know, getting a bit of a funny in my stomach, and I thought, you know, I'll overcome that, but I don't know. I'm still feeling it now.
And you, Nabila, always had that in your back of your mind. Were you surprised at his strength of feeling?
I wasn't expecting him to get so upset, but then again, I wasn't expecting the messages to be so powerful and to be so emotional. Is that the right word?
Overwhelming.
Yeah, overwhelming.
They were very honest, weren't they?
They
with
were
you?
very honest.
When they said they didn't want me to go, that's just put the brakes on everything. I thought, man, normally they understood why I do things and why I'm doing it, but now I'm getting, well, we don't want you to go, and that's just changed my whole complexion of what I'm thinking about Australia.
Nabila, how would you vote if I asked you today?
At this present time, UK, but for the future, it's sort of undecided. So it's not UK, you know, forever.
So that flag's slightly moving.
And what else? That's more than enough.
OK, so if you've got to make a decision, Australia, new life, or being with all your loved ones?
Loved ones. Whatever happens. If the loved ones said to me, Harry, we're happy for you to go, and I got some support, then it'll be Australia. But at this stage, loved ones all day long. They mean everything to me.
Nabila, I have a feeling that your husband is going to spend the next 2 years convincing all your friends and family to give them his blessing.
I think you might be right there. But, yeah, we're in it together.
Yes.
So let's see what the future brings.
Yeah.
Well, we wish you all the very best of luck, wherever it is, be the UK or Australia. Thank you very much.
Thank you.